That will bring us to our public participation in our meetings. And I'd like to remind, we have some people signed up. I'd like to remind those that are signed up to speak that the board welcomes and encourages public participation, and that we respectfully ask that you adhere to the procedures and decorum provided in board policy, BEDH, public participation at meetings. Your comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Mr. Harris over here has a time, keeps the time, and will hold up a 30-second and a 1 minute and 30-second to let you know. And if you ask any questions during your public participation, if you'll put them in writing, and I promise you'll receive a written response in a very timely manner. So with that, I'll call our first participant up, Mr. Peter Lasagne. Mr. Lasagne.
Good evening. Tonight I come before the board and the administrators to ask that you consider the policies regarding the firing of the support staff employees very carefully. That is a long list of how to get fired, and unfortunately, nowhere in there does it discuss the rights of the support staff employees. One of the things that we often forget when we're writing rules to govern ourselves is that we actually are governing people. And one of the big ruling legal documents we have for the people in the United States is the Constitution. And the Constitution guarantees us due process rights. While you might write that we're at-will employees, we are still guaranteed those rights, guaranteed to us under the Constitution. So please carefully consider the policies. It sounds very scary when you list all the ways to get fired and that it can happen overnight. We're talking about the support staff people who barely make $20,000 a year. How are they going to afford lawyers to fight for their jobs? So if you please keep that in mind when you discuss the policies tonight. It's a very scary policy that you're putting in place without any protection for the rights of the employees. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lasagne. Next, we'll hear from Lynn Lee. Lynn.
Thank you. My name is Lynn Lee. I'm here on behalf of Spring Hill School. But before I talk about that, I'd like to, after hearing these young students over here, I'd like to tell you that I'm a proud product of District 5, grades 1 through 12. And I served as student body president in 19. But I wanted to talk to you just a minute about Spring Hill School, and thank you so much for your support of that wonderful school. As retired president of Mashburn Construction, I recognize the importance of all the skills that are being taught there. But tonight I wanted to talk specifically about the agricultural part. Now I'm a retired farmer, and so happens that my farm is named Spring Hill Angus, which is only about 5 miles from the school. And since the school began, we've had a couple classes out at my farm. In the Angus business now, we do a lot of artificial breeding, and I had a little class out there for the students last spring. And then the students came out before their judging opportunities at Clemson and tried out on my cattle and did some judging of my cattle, and that was kind of a test that the teacher gave for the students. So I enjoyed that very much. And if you see fit to go forward with the barn, I've offered to bring my cattle in for them to study at the school, which would be easier than going to the farms. I can leave it there a day or two, and they can have several classes during the day on breeding or judging or taking care of cattle, grooming cattle, so much with the agriculture community. And it just warms my heart that y'all have supported this part of our educational process to bring us back to our roots of agriculture, because so many students have forgotten what agriculture is all about. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Shealy. Next, we'll hear from Shelly Hoover.
Hi, I'm Shelly Hoover. I'm a student at Spring Hill High School, and I'm a newer member to the Kate Center. And I joined the ag program knowing that there was going to be hands-on activity, and I was known that there was going to be things that we're going to be doing. So to have this opportunity would be amazing, and just like to thank you for y'all's support and get this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hoover. Next, we'll hear from Austin Cathcart.
Hello, my name is Austin Cathcart, and I'm currently a senior at Spring Hill High School, and I've been involved in the agriculture program and the FFA at the Cates Center for the past 3 years. I'm currently serving as the student advisor on the Cates Center FFA officer team, and I was the president of that organization last year. Through this organization, our students are able to have many different opportunities. Me personally, I've competed on numerous state competitions. I competed and represented our district in numerous of those competitions, and actually competed nationally in 2 of those competitions. This past October, myself and multiple other students went to Louisville, Kentucky, and placed in the top 15 of all states for the competitions that we competed in. There's an interesting thing about FFA students and students in the agriculture program, and that is the fact that they are very engaged and invested in their own learning. And that brings up a curious question to me as, why are these students so different from others in the district? Why are these students going above and beyond and going this extra mile? And I believe that the reason that they're doing this is because at the Cates Center, and especially in the FFA, they're invested in their own learning. They get to learn with their hands, and they get to make their own mistakes. And one thing that Dr. Hefner and Dr. Couch are both very big supporters of is students getting to own their own education. And that is exactly what happens in the FFA and at the Cates Center in general. I would like to just thank you, thank the school board for y'all's previous support of the agriculture program, and I would also like to thank you for the support that I know y'all continue to give us into the future. The support that y'all have given us has been tremendous, and it has actually given me the opportunity and steered my life in a direction to where I will now be attending Clemson University this fall, pursuing a degree in agriculture education. And I want to come back and teach agriculture in a high school in South Carolina so that I have the opportunity to share the same experiences with other students that this school district has shared with me. So once again, thank you for y'all's continued support, and we are most grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cathcart. And our final speaker is Ms. Bridget Wilson.
Hey, my name is Bridget Wilson. I'm currently a junior at Spring Hill High School, and I attend the Cates Center for the ag program as well. I've had a lot of experiences, great experiences with the Cates Center, with the ag program that I never thought I would get coming into high school. It was a class I thought just might be interesting, so I was like, all right, I'll try it my freshman year, and I fell in love with the program. I've had so many opportunities that have been beyond my dreams, and you know, my dream is to be a large animal vet when I grow up, and that program has just, you know, so far it's prepared me so much for that, and I can't imagine, you know, what it can do, you know, for me in the future as well as other students. One of the biggest things I've done with the FFA is the Clemson Meat Goat project that I did this last fall as part of my supervised agricultural experience project through my ag class. I did it under the supervision of my ag teacher, Mr. John Asbill. So I raised a goat, and I showed him in numerous shows around the state, and then at the end, I sold him for meat. So it taught me a lot about the livestock industry, and it was a very good hands-on experience. It taught me a lot about, you know, proper animal handling and care and management. And you know, having a barn at the school would just, you know, it would expand that learning tremendously, and it would help us, you know, with more supervision from our advisors than we even, you know, we had a lot, but it would be so much better with the barn, and it would help me in the future as well as so many other students with that hands-on learning experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. I want to thank all our public participants tonight, and appreciate you participating with us. That brings us to item number 13, which are items considered in executive session, and we only had one.